But
All right. Hello. Welcome everyone back. What is this place? Is this on? These buttons
Yeah,
work?
you're good.
Yep, it's on.
To the Happy Hour show. Welcome back, Crypto Vince, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. And Rags, I mean, it's been days, maybe a week or something, but yeah, how you doing over there?
I'm good. Have you stopped spinning when you lay in bed at night yet?
It was funny because like I got in the shower, I had to like brace myself, like stand like wide footed.
Me too.
Yeah, it was get
Some rough
had the old
seas,
sea
man.
legs.
Yeah.
Bloo Bum, welcome. How you doing? Oh, he's frozen. Blue Bum.
Very, very
He's
good.
blinking.
What are you guys talking about then? Are you on a boat or something? Or you can't see me?
Yeah. We can see you. Oh, now we
I think
can.
it's just lagging a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah.
Now we see him. Now we don't. Big K, how are you?
I'm
you
here.
Just say hi.
I'm here.
Yes. Okay. He's here. He's in transit, but he's going to chime in whenever he feels like it. And Blue Bum has returned. There you are. Looks like you're lagging a little bit, but I think we can hear you all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, your connection
That's weird.
is a little
I
laggy.
had really good internet here.
Yeah, but we were on a boat with Freddie Quotes, Max, who's another Hexkin, and a couple others, and some first mates. The captain went on a fishing trip about 10 days ago, I guess, last week. So yeah, it's been less than a week. So yeah, and the seas were rough. Let's put it that way. We'll leave it there. I mean, I'll start off with a funny story. Is like going out, it was probably about 2-hour boat ride out while we wait for everybody to get over here from the Valuetainment Richard Hart stream that just wrapped up. And it was a couple hours probably at least out to where we were fishing off, in the Atlantic. And I mean, we were just going up, and the boat was turning as we were going over these waves, and I'm laying perpendicular to another guy, Eric, on the couch, and his feet are kind of like at my head. Rags is on the floor, first mate's on the floor on the other side, and we hit this giant wave and comes up, and I just hear this crash like down to the left of me. Eric, the guy who was laying perpendicular to me, ends up on top of Rags. And that's how his morning started. So.
Dude, I woke up and there's a man face to face with me. And he went full-blown airborne and then twisted and landed on top of me. And I'm like, oh, hey, buddy. Got to push him back over, and we went back to sleep.
Good morning, Rags. How are you doing?
Oh, it was a rude awakening.
Yeah. So I'm like laying there, and I like just like kind of like look down. I'm like, oh man, I was like, poor guys, and yeah, went back to sleep. But yeah. But caught a bunch of tuna. It was a great time. Thanks to big shout out to Freddie Quotes for getting the guys together. And yeah, we did it last year, just like a one-day kind of thing. But we are actually in the tournament this year with Michael Jordan, Jimmy Allen, country singer, bunch. It's like a big deal. There's like 400 boats in this thing. So, but yeah, conditions were terrible. I think they only caught like 10% of the fish that they did all tournament last year. For the whole tournament, that's how bad the conditions were. So, but anyway, I want to
share one more story about the boat, man.
Yes.
All right. So I was in the Navy. I spent a tremendous amount of time out to sea, but I wasn't in small boats. So we're heading out there. It's like he said, 2 hours, and the seas are rough. I mean, we are going airborne probably every 10, 15 seconds, I'd say.
Oof.
And I make the mistake of deciding that I'm going to go
down
the water line and go to the bathroom. And dude, I was pinning. It was a small bathroom. I'm trying to pin myself while pissing, and it was like I was in a scene of Jackass inside of a porta potty. It's just going everywhere, dude. I'm getting beat up, dude. My body's getting slammed. I told the guys something else that was really funny. I can't really mention it, but let's just say that there was some pain that ensued. But yeah. All right, that's all I got to say about that. I just needed to.
It was a hard landing.
It was an extremely hard landing on my nuts. That's essentially what happened.
And that's that. So there you go.
That's it.
Let me just make sure DJ Cryptomatic knows that we are good. He's been going. He is a trooper. He's just been going on for a while now. So yeah, we got the raid. So thank you, Mr. DJ. He went an extra, I think, hour and a half or maybe 2 hours for the Richard Hart stream to try to get that over to us. Yeah, see you guys starting to pop in here from over there. What's going on? Red Squirrel, Paul, Mango Junkie, Godfather, Russ. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. And yeah, so we're back at it here. I did just have a note here while we're kind of like warming up the show. I know our resident doctor, hexologist, posted that security tweet update yesterday for Google Chrome and a lot of other hexkins, followed suit as well and posted that. Also, if you use a Mac, update your operating system. So go to, your Apple menu, top left, go to About This Mac and see what version you're on. There's like another critical vulnerability there. So
they can take over administrative access to your entire phone and do whatever they want with
yes,
it.
and your phone.
Yeah.
So go into the settings of your phone too. So I'm talking MacBooks, Mac Pros, your phone. Do that security update across the board. So wanted to get that out there because that would be a very bad thing in crypto. Bloo Bum, what you drinking there?
This is pomegranate juice and gaseosa. Mineral water.
Mineral water. Rags, do you have anything?
Mineral water.
I got water, man. I'm sticking. I've been fasting. So the first 24-hour fast I've ever done is today.
Nice.
Oh wow, how's that going?
It was going real well all day. It was really clear, and then I got this weird sensation about 17 or 18 hours in. I was kind of lightheaded a little bit, but I've kind of punched through that. So
that
now
was the hump.
Back to the clear. I'm clear and surgical right now, so that's good.
Nice. Yeah, I've done keto a few times, and usually, like my very first time, I remember it like early on, like there was that hump I had to get through, and then once you got over it, you were good. But man, it was like an hour or two there, you were like miserable, and it was like,
yeah, dude, I was like spaced out and feeling like woozy. I'm like, whoa, weird.
Yeah. Well, glad to hear you're feeling better. Just doing it for kind of like a test, weight loss. So what?
Yeah, I just kind of want to do it for the test, man. The more and more research that I see on this stuff, like the HGH that gets released, the amount of cells that kind of cleanse themselves from your body, and you just feel better, right? You feel clear. I saw this. Who was the Matthew McConaughey, right? He did that movie where he was at Dallas Players Club where he had to lose like 80 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Like a Holocaust victim, essentially, is what he looked like.
Yeah.
Dude, he was talking about it, and he said, I think his diet was 1 cup of pudding, a half an apple, and then like some type of small amount of protein. So it was like 800 calories a day or 500 calories a day. And I'll never forget, he says, what you lose down here, you gain up here. Yeah. And so what I'm going to try it out, and then I'm going to try to push the limits and see how far I can go a couple times. So I'm just kind of getting used to it, just for the effect, man, and just for the health benefits.
Nice. Well,
Mango Junkie says weird sensation called starving.
Leave it to Mango for the the commentary. But yeah, I think we're expecting also Wendy's for 4Tendies. Big K is here. He'll chime in. He's on the road now. Like I said, Motley, Wendy's for 4Tendies. I think they were grabbing a bite to eat between. They did a stream this afternoon, plus the Richard Hart thing, and hopefully they'll be by in a bit. I know, Vince, you're speaking of dinner. You're gonna head out in a bit, so I had this on for later in the show when Motley and 4Tendies got in here, but I'd like to at least bring in for a little Hedron chat. Hedron, because that's how Alex taught me to say it.
Hedron.
Yes. But and Bloo Bum, since you're have been involved pretty much in all about this ecosystem from day one. Just like to get your guys' thoughts on the Icosa launch, I guess last weekend now, and how it's going. I know we have the Watsa NFTs, probably like another 8-9 days maybe of that left or less, and
10.
10. Sorry,
10. Yeah.
Well, we'll be 9, I guess, in an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then just get your overall take. Vince, I guess I'll start with you, because I know you've been pretty bullish on it from what I've been reading from you. And
yeah. Well, it's funny because back before Icosa was a thing, I didn't really think that much of Hedron.
Same.
Because I just thought it was free coins to dump or I knew about the advanced feature where if you make an HSI, you can basically borrow from your future self all the Hedron from that stake up front, but the price was so low that it never really made sense to do that. But I mean, now that we have Icosa out, and it's kind of like the other half of what Alex envisioned from the beginning, I think the whole ecosystem makes a lot more sense. And it's been fun. I played around on testnet before the mainnet, and I kind of got myself acquainted to all the systems in there, and it's really fun because you can you could just turn it in HSI, get liquid Icosa, and then stake that. And
there's a lot of staking mechanisms and strategies, I guess, that you could do it. Different yield opportunities. I mean, the first couple days there, just the first day was just amazing with some of those, like the Watsa NFT. But I mean, you can stake your Hedron, your Icosa, do the Watsa HSIs. There's so many options there. And just before I go over to Bloo Bum for his take, quick shout out to DFed, David Feeder, Crypto Graphics. I might be missing one or two. Sloth. I did like a crash course after I got back from the fishing trip last weekend, and watched a lot of content that those guys put out, and I thank you for it. So that caught me up pretty much within half a day. I really appreciate those guys. So Bloo Bum, your take on the old launch here and how we're doing. Anything, any surprises, anything that you're looking forward to?
Oh, I think it's been hugely successful. We've seen over 3,500 HEX HSIs, predominantly Quattro Cinco ones, be made and then swapped for Icosa, and all of those are going to be coming up for auction in less than 90 days. So that's just a ton of HEX stakes coming up for auction, and so that's what's got me the most excited, because I think the price is probably going to climb towards that. And I think that there's going to be a hell of a lot of Hedron burnt when all of those go, and that'll be a whole lot of Icosa yield. But more importantly, it's burning a whole lot of Hedron. And so I think it's funny, in some ways I feel a little bit sucked in by Alex, because he had Icosa planned from the start, but he purposely didn't tell people about it, because he wanted people who didn't see the long-term vision to dump and to flush those people out. And now that all that flushing out has happened, he's released it, and it does make a lot more sense. I still think that Hedron would have worked just on its own, but it would have taken a lot longer to work. But now with Icosa launched, it's kind of given it rocket fuel, I think, and it's probably going to the whole system is going to do what it was intended to do more efficiently and more quickly. I'm guessing. I think that the value is still going to flow to HEX and Hedron. I think Icosa is probably the weakest link out of those three, because it's so much of it's being minted every day, or so much of it's being distributed every day. Minting, obviously, when people end their stakes. So and because also Icosa has a price ceiling against HEX, which it's already bumped up to a couple of times, which it won't go over, just on that HEX Icosa ratio, but nothing to do with the USD, obviously.
Yeah. And that, I guess while you're mentioning that, Simba369 asks, how low can Icosa go? Well, it's like kind of following HEX down, right? That's
I mean, all of these, yeah,
and then it bumped up, as you said. Yeah.
I mean, I think all of this stuff that's built on top of HEX, the same with Maxi and all of the things they're going to build, and with Hedron and Icosa, they're going to move with HEX. Mm-hmm. They're very, very tied in price, if not anything, just through the liquidity pools. So they will move along up and down with HEX for sure.
Yeah, and let's see. I think I've pretty much touched every aspect of the ecosystem. The front end's beautiful. I think. Yeah. I think it's just well done. It includes like HEX. It's like so well organized. Your HEX, Hedron, Icosa tabs, and then you could go in there. It calculates, every day like what the yield is. I wanted to get this math straight, and I guess Bloo Bum, you might be the best to clarify this, I should say. So in the, I guess, rewards, the percentages, the 20%, 15%, whale, shark, what are those numbers based of? That's not based upon the pool. That's based upon the liquid. Is that correct?
Yeah, listen, in a way, you kind of have two different two different positions, let's say. Like you have your, whale, and when I say position, I mean your ranking, like your whale, shark, which is your percentage of the pool. So you have your pool animals. That means that how much of that pool you have. But that's not how the start amount of days and the end bonus is calculated. It's calculated based on that stake's percentage of the total supply. And so that's really, really different for the Icosa pool and for the Hedron pool. Because with the Icosa pool, when Icosa is staked, it's burnt. So it's not considered part of the total supply. So as more and more people stake, every time you start or end a stake, you're going to have a relatively higher position because it's such low supply. Whereas with the Hedron, that's, people can mint every day. Yeah, the SA has burnt some Hedron. So that supply is kind of like, it's going up a little bit at the moment because people are minting tons of Hedron from their stakes. And so with that one, for instance, when you first entered the pool, that's when the days are set. So let's say you were a shark when you entered, but now since other people have been coming in and the supply, and because people have been minting, that supply is going up. Actually, it's really more from the people minting the supply. But therefore, you might have a smaller ranking. And at the time that you end the stake is when it calculates that bonus payment. So what people potentially could do is if they enter at a higher ranking and then they find out that very quickly they're at a lower ranking and they want to shorten the amount of days that they have to stay, the minimum amount of days that they have to stay in that pool, they can just pay a 0.1 or 1 Icosa to bump up their stake, and it will recalculate the days from that day. And so when you're entering a pool and when you're exiting a pool, you just want to play around with what your stake is in terms of the total supply of that token to know whether, you can play around with it a bit, or if this is a good time to pull it out, or maybe wait a bit or whatever like that.
Got it. And welcome in Wendy's and Motley. How was dinner?
It was great.
Okay, good. I saw Motley sound the alarm, and I was joking with Vince in the green room. Do you think that the PulseChain, PulseX next year got taken out of context a bit?
Probably.
Okay.
No one knows.
We don't know.
You said,
I just watched your tweet and I was like, what? And then
it's not the
Rags
first time
played
he
it in the
said
green
something
room.
like that, though, right? Like remember when he said, what did he say? He said, oh, some people might watch the documentary and get into, find out about PulseChain before it launches or something like that. He said basically that line. And so
Okay.
I was
I did not
like,
hear that.
yeah, it was like months ago. But
And he just said, we'll have PulseX, PulseChain, and HEX next year. So,
Oh yeah, we will.
Maybe
but
it
we
launches
could have it
this year.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
giving himself a generous window. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. And then it comes out 2024, and then we're really pissed.
don't do that.
Oh man. So yeah, got you guys on. Vince, how long we got you for, man?
About half an hour.
Oh yeah. Y'all want to do some trivia while we get everybody flowing in here?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. Let's get into it then while we have Crypto Vince. I try to get you guys out of the first round. We haven't done this in months, so
I think I was the last champion.
I think you might have been. So
Sounds like something you would say.
and Big K just conveniently ducks out. Oh man, come on, Big K. Where you at? Where you at? So yeah, let's these are more, since Richard has not been, I guess, across the pond. He's been tweeting more fun things and less crypto. So this is more like crypto news related. So it might be right up Wendy's alley. Let's see here. And I try to get you guys out of the first round. So
okay,
let's do this. Wendy's 4Tendies. This is just kind of like a coin association.
Okay.
Name a hexagon/crypto personality associated with the following coin, and we're just going to do one each.
Okay.
The first one, and there could be multiple. You just got to name one. First one is Maximus.
Maximus would be Gold Key.
Gold Key is an acceptable answer. Motley Investor, Fiat.io.
I'll go Buck.
The Buck.
The Buck.
Rags to Riches.
Don't give him his own token, sir.
You can't shill that. You'll get shut down.
I was going
YouTube will.
to be mean and say Pulse Floki, but I'll go with Pulse Dogecoin.
That would be hard.
Pulse Dogecoin. That's a pretty easy one there.
I'm trying to get you out of the first round.
Yeah. I guess we'll go with Gunther.
Let's go with Gunther. Let's see. Blue Bum. How about the Poor Pleb token? PP.
Oh, yeah. Krill.
Krill is an acceptable answer. And Vince. Hedron.
That would be Alex.
There you go. All right, good. Got you all out of the first round. All right, now we'll take our time a little bit. Take your time in answering. I'll try to repeat the question. Get the audience in the game here a little bit. Yes, Hexy Bastard was also an acceptable answer for the PP. Let's see. 4Tendies. Richard Hart is in the United States. Name one show or podcast that he has been on that has aired since he's been here.
Sure. Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street podcast.
Correct. Motley Investor. Can you name another one?
Valuetainment, the one that was today.
All right, that was easy. Okay.
I mean, I can do another one if you like.
No, thank you. Rags to Riches. Can you name me one more?
No, can't.
All
I
right.
don't remember the names of them.
You've been rogue.
What is this?
All right, you're serious though.
Yeah, I listen to them, but I don't really pay attention to the other person.
Give me a guess.
All right, so we said Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. Listen to that one.
Yep.
We said the one that we did today as well.
Valuetainment.
Valuetainment, and then Fit and Fresh. Yeah.
Fresh and Fit.
Fresh
That'll.
and Fit.
Close enough.
Yes, correct. Chat, you're getting most of those. There's one more he did a cameo on. That was the shorter one, but I'll leave that one for another time. That would have been, well, chat. Put that in the chat, actually. See if you guys know it. Blue Bum, there were 2 Hexkins on with Richard for the Fresh and Fit podcast. Name one of those Hexkins.
Gary. Funding Jim.
Jim / Gary is correct. Crypto Vince.
Yes.
There were 2 Hexkins. Name the other one.
It'd be Dollar Cost Crypto.
Dollar Cost Crypto, another friend of the show. correct. All right, let's maybe get the difficulty up just a smidge. They don't get hard probably for another round or so.
This means he's going to Richard Hart tweets.
No, actually, I'm going to a BitBoy tweet.
Okay.
Earlier this week, BitBoy tweeted, quote, things that went to zero before HEX. And then he listed some coins, a brokerage firm, and a fund. Name one of those things that went to zero before HEX that he mentioned.
Arrows Capital.
Oh, we went with, I think, the harder one. Nice work. Motley Investor. There you go. Okay.
You're welcome.
There you go. Rags to Riches.
Did he say? I think he said Mashinsky, right? Alex Mashinsky.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Kind of getting a little hard here, so we'll go on to the next one.
I think there's still room for one more.
Yeah. All right, Blue Bum, you want it?
I don't see his tweets, but I'll just guess if you want.
No, I feel bad.
You're gonna get a rug.
Yeah. What was the stable coin that just collapsed?
Yeah,
There you go. Right track.
You're on the right track.
Quote Do Kwon. What the fuck is he really called?
I think I mean,
Technically, that's correct. Do Kwon, what the, so yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Bum didn't invest, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
UST and Luna. By Do Kwon.
UST, that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Crypto Vince, I'm not gonna be evil on you. I mean, there are a couple that are kind of more obscure, like Gary Gensler's balls, but you'd never guess that.
No, I wouldn't.
Richard Hart traveled to the States to see his mom, who fortunately, thankfully, sounds like she's on her way to recovery. What state did he travel to first?
I believe it was South Carolina, right?
South Carolina is correct. All right, let's go to Wendy's 4Tendies. True or false? Richard Hart now has over 250,000 Twitter followers. True or false? Richard Hart now has over 250,000 Twitter followers.
I know it's really close. I'm not 100% sure.
It's always on the edge.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes. True.
I'm gonna say you are correct. He actually tweeted about it when it occurred. So. Motley Investor, true or false? God Founder now has over 150,000 YouTube subscribers.
False.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Uh-oh,
I wish he had 150,000.
It's
close.
Yeah, it was 6,000. It's close, but you are correct. Let's see. Rags to Riches. Last week, Richard Hart tweeted, "Hot blank girls, DM me on Instagram. I'm in town."
Miami.
Very good. You're all over that.
Mm-hmm. I DM'd him, but he never hit me back.
Just a ginger thing, that's all.
Yeah, right.
He said hot.
Yeah, true.
Blue Bum. Yesterday, the Staker app Twitter account tweeted that the Gnosis will be airdropping coins to qualified users. What is the name of the coin that they will be airdropping? I'll repeat it one more time. Give chat a chance.
Be careful of scams too right now. It hasn't released yet.
Yesterday, the Staker app Twitter account tweeted that Gnosis will be airdropping coins to qualified users. What is the name of the coin?
Safe.
Sandy Beach and you and Chaotic Creations and your Hexcellence and many others in chat are correct. Crypto Events, are you a music fan?
Yes, I am.
All right. While in Atlanta with BitBoy, Richard Hart saw which artist in concert?
Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of music fan.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you, Vince.
Vince ain't gonna get this one.
Okay.
Oh man,
The disgruntled grunt.
Adios, amigo.
Time to get rugged.
See you on the next one.
The correct answer is
The Weekend.
not RG3, but The Weekend. Or if you like spelling, Flames. There you go.
Would any of us got that?
I
DJ
just said it.
Cryptomatic would have.
I forgot.
I wouldn't have got that.
I just said it.
Yeah, Wendy's did.
So you would have got.
Back to Wendy's for tendies as we are down to 4.
Let's go.
Let's see here.
He
Earlier
said
this
as the
week,
reigning champion, he wants the hard questions.
Let's go. Let's see what you
well,
got.
we got a
That's
Richard
awesome.
Hart tweet regarding PulseChain.
Okay.
Earlier this week, Richard tweeted PulseChain.com update. We've got a bit of red team versus blue team security auditing going. We've written a denial of service bot to attack the private testnet and different ways to break it. We've also changed blank count to increase entropy in rotation, working hard. What is the blank count?
I know it's something with validator rotation, I think is what I remember, but something count.
What's your phone? That's your.
Mm,
No helping, Cabana.
Oh,
I know you want to, so stop.
count.
we've also changed blank count. He could have put the in there, so it could have said we've also changed the blank count to increase entropy in rotation. Working hard.
I'm gonna say validator.
The answer is validator.
Okay.
Nice work.
You were on it. I was just like, pick something else.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the? This
Hey, well,
guy-
I knew
guy.
Um, wanted to go in
With
there and
friends
help.
like this, you don't.
I know, he's like
I guess we should have entered the same competition then.
competitive. Yeah, all right. Motley Investor.
Yep.
Name the English football club whose jerseys had the
You're
HEX.com
an
logo on them to start the season.
Barnsley. Fuck you.
Hooligans.
Hooligans to a lot of you. Yeah, Barnsley. Final answer.
Rags to Riches. Last week, the OFAC sanctioned what crypto mixer? Last week, the
Tornado Cash.
OFAC sanctioned what crypto mixer? Tornado Cash is correct.
Yep.
Bloo Bum. What bankrupt crypto lender now says it likely has enough cash to last through the end of the year? What bankrupt crypto lender now says it is likely it has enough cash to last through the end of the year?
The only one I'm going to be able to guess is Celsius.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm sure there's others, but I don't know them.
Celsius is correct. Nice work.
I thought the judge said that they couldn't do Bitcoin, or they could do Bitcoin mining or something. Is that what that was a part of? Was it?
Anytime they like move funds now after they declared bankruptcy, they have to like publicly state what they're doing or request permission to do so. So that's what that was about.
Right.
Let's see here. 4Tendies. What major stablecoin issuer recently changed accounting firms and said it plans to publish attestation and assurance reports every month rather than once a quarter? What major stablecoin issuer recently changed accounting firms and said it plans to publish attestation and assurance reports every month rather than once a quarter?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna guess Tether.
Chat? That stumped the chat. Wendy's stumped you. Tether is correct. Nice work.
Good guess.
Motley Investor, beginning yesterday, which crypto exchange began offering support for clients throughout the US, Singapore, and Hong Kong to earn and store staking rewards in their accounts? Beginning yesterday, which crypto exchange began offering support for clients throughout the US, Singapore, and Hong Kong to earn and store staking rewards in their accounts?
Ooh, I have no idea.
Wendy's isn't going to help you? No.
No. Say it one more time.
Beginning yesterday, which crypto exchange began offering support for clients throughout the US, Singapore, and Hong Kong to earn and store staking rewards in their accounts? And actually, the answer might have been in the show notes if you had read them. So
yeah, I don't do that. I'll probably out on this. I'll just do Binance.
Binance is incorrect. The correct answer is Gemini. I don't know. Can you just like throw him over the top rope, Wendy's? I don't know how we're going to rug him. But yeah,
he's not big enough.
Rags. Here we go. On Wednesday, the CEO of What Exchange expressed his preference to not censor transactions to and from sanctioned addresses after the blockchain's transition to proof of stake. On Wednesday, the CEO of What Exchange, we'll say U.S. Exchange, expressed his preference.
Brian Armstrong, maybe?
Partially correct. Brad, but yes. Good job.
Brad Armstrong, sorry. Yeah.
And Bloo Bum to get out of this round. Otherwise, it will just be down to Wendy's and Rags. Earlier this week, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Wrong question. What group plans to launch options on ETH futures before the merge? What group in the United States, based out of the United States, what group plans to launch options on ETH futures before the merge?
We talked about this on stream earlier.
Was Bloo Bum watching?
No, probably not.
Depending upon your point of view, could also be seen as the kiss of death, but we'll see.
Grayscale.
Well, this one stumped everyone. The correct
Chicago
answer.
Mercantile Exchange.
Yes.
Like
the CME.
Forget it.
The CME.
Okay.
All right. And there were two.
You got this, Rags.
I don't know. He just pulled out Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Yeah. Doesn't bode well.
Well, after this, I think there's
it's animal trivia.
We have to go to a tiebreaker, so it's pretty much a guess after this one. Let's see, 4Tendies. What crypto exchange was ordered today to cease and desist misleading claims that they are FDIC insured? What crypto exchange? And there were, I think, 6 total in the issuance, but they were the main, pretty big exchange. What crypto exchange was ordered today to cease and desist misleading claims that they are FDIC insured?
Well, he said that before. Is it a U.S. exchange?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Of course, it's U.S.
FDIC. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Gemini.
Credit to the beached whale. It was actually FTX. FTX.
No mercy.
Rags to riches.
I didn't see that today.
Rags to riches for the win. The last question on the list. Otherwise, there's been a lot of chatter about Mt. Gox coins being released and sold in the very near future. What does the MTG in Mt. Gox stand for? There's been a lot of chatter about Mt. Gox coins being released and sold in the near future. What does the MTG in Mt. Gox stand for?
Come on, Rags. Harness
you
your
don't know.
Mt. Gox.
Harness your inner nerd, sir.
MTG and Mt. Gox.
First Bitcoin exchange. Nerd.
No, what would you?
I got it.
Beat this man.
That's it.
I know it.
I don't know.
No,
It's
super.
Magic the Gathering online exchange.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Jesus.
It actually is.
Wow.
All right. We're going to have to go to a tiebreaker. And
go.
Sounds a lot better as Mount Gox, right?
It does.
It sounds much more reputable.
I've
Yes, it
never heard
does.
that. I never have.
Going to pull up a stat or two to get the latest stat today. Where are we at? All right. Buzz in using your handle or however you want, Tendies or Rags. First one to say it gets the first guess.
How do we buzz in?
Just say your name.
Rags. Okay.
Nope. Okay. What's
Hey, there
the
you go.
answer to the question?
Hope it's a good one.
Too soon, Junior.
Hit the nitrous.
As of this moment, and this is going to be a tricky question because this has moved a lot today. As of this moment, what does one T-share cost? Closest wins.
Rags.
Rags, you are first to guess. One T-share, what does it cost?
26,000 hex.
In US dollar terms?
I can do the math.
Yeah, do it, because I'm looking at the USD.
Oh, USD. What?
All right.
Gotta
Hold
do it
on.
by the HEX.
The price has been dropping today, so
Yeah.
Let's
Now everyone's
say,
got to pull their calculators out.
$1,170.
1,170. All right, 4Tendies, over to you.
I'm gonna say $1,000.
I would have
The-
just undercut him.
Yeah, I could have
Come prices right. So.
like $1
$1
underneath.
under.
Yeah.
The correct answer is, because we've had like a serious dip since the show's
That's
gone
true.
on. $939 for a T-share.
Yeah.
T-shares are cheap right now.
Oh, that's depressing.
Valiant,
And
valiant
still
effort, Rags to Riches.
champion.
And for that, we hand it over to the champion. Throw that guy beside you over the top rope.
No,
Let's hear
I'm
from the
not.
winner. For
He's doing something. What's up, guys? Shout out to everybody in the chat. DCA. Looks like this was a nasty bull trap, and a reckoning is coming. So just keep DCAing in, stick to your plan. If you don't have a plan, come up with one. Don't get shiny object syndrome and invest in, rugs from community members and stuff, Yeah. Fuck all y'all that are doing that shit. It's fucking shady as shit. But, just stay buying the good stuff because, if you lose money in a bear market and you could have bought something that's going to appreciate 100x, 1000x in the bull market, you literally just robbed your future self. So don't get bored. This is a long game investing. It's not supposed to be fun. You come to happy hour for that. So
Those losses get amplified.
Yeah.
Big time.
well done, well done, Tendies for the win. I think Vince, you posted in the chat. Oh yeah, so we had a sale of 35.5 million hex in one shot. For
We had like
one.
24 million earlier.
Yep. And
Wait,
this
did
is on
that happen like just now?
just now. Well, 10 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Vince posted.
Oh,
Oh God.
Did they buy with USDC or probably? Eh?
Looks like it. Let me see here. Yep. USDC. Actually, they sold, looks like 40 million in one shot.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Smart.
I mean,
I wonder what the
so
slippage
happens,
was on that.
Yeah.
Not
Probably
Well,
not
yeah.
good.
The one earlier was $40,000 in slippage.
Slippage. Yep.
Ugh.
And like MEV bots have been going nuts, with this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Nothing like an SUV and slippage.
like a lot of times like that, this kind of stuff, it's like emotions, like maybe they're panicked, Gox coins coming out, yada yada, and that's the danger of doing these short stakes, right? The whales doing short stakes. It's like you're defeating the purpose of HEX by letting your emotions, rule your bag. And when we're higher than this in the next year or so, they're going to regret it.
Agreed. So I guess, while you had a good stream with Dixon Piper on this afternoon, you and Motley, and you touched on some interesting points. So, a few were on our list here, but one was I thought of particular interest, and it's kind of like the talk, I guess, for the next few weeks, is the upcoming merge. So we've obviously hit a technical level in traditional markets, probably Bitcoin as well. Like I was looking at like S&P traditionally, 4,200, and worst case, like if we breach that, 43 was going to be like the absolute roof, I thought. And actually I was thinking it was going to be 42, but it ended up being 43. So we hit that, and it was just like just brick, and coming right down.
I mean, it was a pretty crazy rally. So
yeah, and we've been pumping for like 2 months. So I know you guys were talking about possible action going up to the ETH merge, because literally I think it's like 30 days or less away. Do you think we pump into that, or like we're good now? Like we're gonna kind of just grind along here, just in crypto land. I think in traditional markets, legacy markets, I think we're going down. And the second part is, do we have a higher low, or do we actually end up making fresh lows?
So the thing is like you can never. There's no way to know if we're gonna do that or not, and that's why like I've talked about many times, like a dynamic DCA is like really, really smart, where you put in like a good amount where for a higher low, right? So maybe it's $1,000 ETH, you do like a pretty good chunk. We break below, and then at the low you put in another good chunk. If we break below that, you start amping it up, because that that's basically the end of the move, right? Anytime you get in, look, the accumulation zone even on Bitcoin could be $40,000-$50,000 in a year, so maybe 2 years, but it's much higher than where we are now, and that that goes for all of crypto. The issue with crypto right now is that we are not going up as much with stocks, but we're going down with them, right? So we're going down more than them, but we're not going up as much when they go up. So you've seen pretty big rallies in the stock market, and we, like you said, we hit a wall. So there was a point where I was like, okay, I think we could be long into the merge. It's probably one of the biggest events in crypto. But again, a lot of people loaded up, maybe even sub 1,000. So it does make sense that it could break. I was looking at it, above 2,000. Once it lost, support and stuff like that, it seemed like, okay, it's definitely going to go down. Every other time in the last week, it's gone down to like 1,740. Once we're below 1,700 and we confirm below that, look out below. It's probably gonna, go to the previous all-time high. That wasn't really like good support the last time, so I definitely think we'll see sub 1,400. DXY's moving back up. The 2-year bond, is creating a W pattern, which is like, a double bottom. So, and that basically is what how the market prices in like the Fed having like a soft landing or a hard landing. We're still in a technical recession. Consumer spending, or consumer savings is at 2007 levels, which preceded the great financial crisis. I mean, it's just not, all good roses out there, So you really got to think long term. And again, typically bear markets are not short; they're long, grueling, accumulation time.
They beat you up with these rallies.
They beat you up because what happens is, so what a sucker's rally is, what a bear market rally is, and how you go to new lows from those is because people buy in thinking that it's over. Okay. And so there's fresh capital that went in at 1,400, 1,700, 2,000, 2,100. When it starts going lower, they realize, oh God, this was a sucker's rally, and they sell, right? And that's how you
could literally be what we just witnessed.
Yeah. And that's how you get people to push the price lower than what it was, is because they came in with fresh money and they're selling for a loss. And it's just, one of those things. And it's tough. It's hard, but you gotta train your brain to think the opposite way. And, FOMO gets you killed in crypto.
Or the staking mechanism helps save you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep, staking, and like Cal says here, says lucky I started a full-time job on Monday. I mean, you LMAO about it, but I think that's perfect if we're in a prolonged bear. I mean, make that fiat and put it to work for yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you're working, I mean, this is what you want to see. You want to have cash on the sideline because a lot of people won't, and especially as prices get lower, you actually get to be more excited and pick your spots rather than being over levered or panicky and making a decision that you possibly wouldn't have made otherwise. Let's see here. Rags, any commentary on where we're at in the general markets? We'll talk a shit coin or two real quick, but
yeah, I've been saying this for a long time, and I saw this playing out on the distribution pattern that we've had on the Bitcoin chart going back to the beginning of June. Nothing fundamentally has changed to make anything better, just kind of like what 4Tendies was talking about. And especially with the Federal Reserve saying that, they're going to continue these basis point hikes probably for at least the next 4 or 5 months. And there's a massive amount of weight that's put on the economy with that. The other thing that I think we should kind of take a look at, the Ethereum merge. I don't think those miners are going to play along like everybody. Some people think they're going to play along. There's a 50-50 split. A lot of those guys spent a lot of money on all that hardware. And, if you're just looking at human nature, generally speaking, they want the ROI. They want to hold on to that cash cow. If I was some sort of betting man and I was the type of person that's kind of speculating on markets, you might see something happen with Ethereum Classic. Some of those guys might want to go take a look at that if the merge does go through, and they say, and according to the difficulty, they've already set the date at approximately September 15th. I would pay attention to some of the chatter with regards to those folks, because that combined with all of that Ethereum that's going to become unlocked on Coinbase and other places, or the fact that some of these centralized exchanges are potentially hold that Ethereum for longer than people expected, it could cause a lot of FOMO. You could see some crazy things happen, I think, here September timeframe with the markets for those reasons, and it's kind of, in my mind, shaping up to be a perfect storm that kind of nobody's talking about. So I would keep a close eye on it.
Perfect storm for what?
Perfect storm for a massive market dump.
And we also just
that alone.
Okay.
Yeah, without the other stuff that's happening, just that alone, that could cause some major disruption, I think.
And as we mentioned earlier, the CME is gonna, and historically when they get involved, it's a joke,
not
but
good.
It's
not good
kind
at
of like a kiss of death.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will. But
yep.
Yeah. What's up, Biffness? Good to see you, man. Retirement. Yeah, I know you're not. You're I was probably in reference to something else. You're on the road, bro. The way Hexologist says Barnsley Boys makes me laugh every time. Someone want to do that for me real quick?
I haven't heard that. So.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Barnsley Boys.
I have a feeling that wasn't quite it. But I like it.
Oh, you don't think I sound like Hexologist?
Is that what he sounds like?
Well, yeah, like it's okay for you to go and buy some, but for me, Hex is the shit, isn't it? That was shit.
That American accent is rough.
I gotta go there.
Richard had a moment there towards the end.
That's a better
he did the face on the valuetainment, and he was like, and I got a good vid cap of that. Somebody's gonna make a gif of that, I'm sure. But yeah, the Barnsley Boys. Yes, I see KD in chat. Let's see what is next on the list. Oh, so this Gox unlock. I know Wendy's, you referenced the Chico video talking about possibly like maybe 14,000 BTC coming out, and not
it was
the
like,
whole.
No, it was like the people who wanted to get paid out early. This is like the early payout, and supposedly the bigger payouts are going to be in like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
but perfect for the next top.
Yeah, but you made a great point as to, you know, the levels that we're at right now, like that, just, you know, the small little stack, relatively speaking, compared to, you know, what could come, could be, you know, what triggers like another leg down. Maybe, you know, not completely new lows, but maybe that could take us to test where we've already been.
Well, it's not just that, right? It's also, well, so first of all, the 20% they're getting paid out, it's because they want their fucking money, right? They've been waiting 10 years.
So
Everybody
why
else,
take it?
Like, they're probably like, well, you know, I'll just take it later. I want the full value. I believe in Bitcoin. The 20%, they're like, yo, give me that shit now. So those people are probably going to dump. Then you're also going to have people that front run those people, right, and dump. Then you're going to have people that are late dumpers, and they're going to, you know, sell the bottom because they're like, oh God,
they will be,
you know, they're going to cause the bottom. And so, I mean, it's all shaping up. You know what I mean? Like it's funny how that works. I mean, I think when we talked to Dixon like months and months and months ago, we kind of, I think me and him both were like in the opinion that we were going to bottom Q4, and now it's looking like maybe we do bottom either end of Q3, Q4. But yeah, so we'll see.
God, there's so many reasons to be bearish about the whole crypto market, isn't there? Like there's this thing that can happen, this thing happen, and all of that just makes me think.
And it's all converging together at once.
Yeah, but it just feels like it's too obvious. Like, how often have we been this? How often have you been right about where the crypto markets are going? Like,
well, I mean, I think the sentiment literally just flipped like within a day or two. Like a couple days ago, everyone was bullish as hell. As people messaging me, it's like, oh, I thought you wanted 1.5, 2 cents. Like, look at us go, and then it just flips, right? Like this is going to be a lot of pain for who knows how long. It could be months. We could go into next year. Who knows? But no one can time it. No one has the crystal ball. Otherwise, we would all just make perfect calls all the time. But prepare for both ways, whether we go lower.
The elections too. Look at the midterm elections coming up.
Yeah.
And then think about this though. Maybe the only bullish news that we have is the fact that the federal government has to service the debt of which those interest rates are affecting as well. They're going to want to turn that off as soon as possible. Not only that, we've got quantitative easing. Any little bit of nice news that we get, whether they stop quantitative easing or they decrease the interest rate hikes.
Tightening, you mean, right?
No, quantitative tightening, pulling money out. If they stop it or start quantitative easing, which is printing money, that's going to be like that's going to be a big event. I think you could see something like a DeFi summer type thing, something like that happen before the reality of everything catches back up again. We could have a prolonged something, maybe Q1, Q2 of next year if they start printing money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's what makes a market, right? All of the ideas that we're putting out there. Like I think too many people are already looking forward to the QT ending, and you know, when's QE back on again? I think it's just way too soon. Like real estate still needs to cool off, and you know, I don't think if the Fed does their job, I think, you know, the tightening needs to continue for a while.
It does.
You don't think the Democrats are going to start the money printers again for the midterms?
No, they're not going to pivot that.
They'll pass legislation.
They're probably. I think there's no way that they're pausing on this one. So it's the market was pricing in 50. They could do 75. They could be, you know, like really soft and do 50. But like they're going to raise. They could pause at some point next year, but they're still going
on this path now.
Yeah, they're on this path now. They're still going to raise, and I mean, they've been pretty like honest about that. They haven't really like changed too much. But even like the next meeting is the end of September. The Gox coins are supposed to come out end of this month. The merge is, you know, mid-September, and the CME futures are a few days before that. So like even if this next Fed meeting is bullish, which it may or may not be, like there's still potentially a lot of pain that could come in just the next like month and a half.
Vince, thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I've pretty much just been deferring all this macro news to friends like Tendies and Motley, like telling me all that stuff, and yeah, I've just mostly been hyper focused on the
Hedron, Icosa, what's
Yeah.
I've seen your Twitter, Vince.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, I was surprised that Richard, doubled down on his 11K call on BitBoy. So, I just kind of took his word for it because he's always pretty much right about all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for more pain and
yeah, if he nails the bottom,
yeah.
If he nails the bottom, that's gonna
that's
huge.
huge.
as bearish as it would be for HEX and like crypto, it would be
That's
really
impressive.
good for Richard because then like he really would look like like a clairvoyant.
Called it like way over a year ago now.
I think this bear
And his
market is going to be
reasoning-
one of the best things to happen to Richard, the bear market and HEX, because he's right. He's right all the time, every day now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blue.
No, and
So it's a good time to just.
his reasoning is just so simple. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
here's the
85% down.
85%.
Yeah, the grayscale.
It's not like he's got any special 5D chess going on, and well, this is going to happen, and this is going to affect this, and this. No, it's like that was the top, 85% down from that bang.
Yep.
I mean, if he's right, it's going to be pretty astounding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
For sure.
Totally agree with that. This show is called Happy Hour, so we do like to have a little fun every now and then. So
Oh no.
every now and then I like to
Bear market times.
Yeah. Did you like on the thing today where he was like, yeah, it's like we're like 6-7 cents. I was like, he clearly hasn't looked at that.
Clearly
24
hasn't
million
looked at
sell,
that.
35 million sell.
yeah, we're at like 6 cents. No,
It was
not
funny because
the-
like one of the guys under Whalebot was like, "This is Richard." I'm like, Richard doesn't even know the price.
Yeah.
Right now. He's way off.
Richard's in America. We're gonna dump it.
Oh man.
Here's I'll mention something that I think fits into this too, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me that the current administration decides that they want to pass a $780 billion spending bill in the midst of everything that's happening right now. The other thing that really pisses me off is they're going to employ 87,000 IRS agents to capture $124 billion back from the United States public. And that's the type of thinking
Scary.
that is very dangerous as you go out later and later and later, decades and decades and decades, because that stuff doesn't go away. Bureaucracy just doesn't go away. It keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So what have we said? Back when I was selling insurance and products and things, I said, make sure with your 401k that you're not investing more than your employer matches, because you're pissing money away. Why? Well, look at how bad the government is mismanaging everything right now. Do you think that they're all of a sudden going to grow up and make things right the right way? Or in the future, are they going to raise taxes and increase the number of people in the IRS to go grab that money literally from your hands, pry it from you? And that's what we're seeing right now. And that frustrates the hell out of me. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we left.
Yeah, I mean, I think all governments are pretty corrupt and shitty, to be honest. And you got a piece of work over there in America, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty pathetic generally in the West, like.
It's a progressive thing though, right? Like it's very like slow going.
Frog in the boiling pan.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see all this shit that happens in politics and stuff over time, and you're just like, how does this keep happening? But then they just push it more and push it more and push it more. Yeah, and it's like the average American has like very little money anyway.
They're too busy trying to stay above water to even take the time to have these conversations and like talk about what the real problem is. Like they're too busy trying to stay ahead with their 9 to 5 and the extra job they have to pick up and the overtime just to stay ahead of this stuff.
They don't care what the average person wants. I mean, like I think that most people would probably be for like a flat tax, like a reasonable flat tax where everybody's just taxes. It'd be very easy. You wouldn't need like all these IRS agents and all this shit and all these loopholes and stuff like that where you got like billionaires paying 0 and the average person slaving away is paying 20%, it's 30%. Like it's fucking stupid.
Well, you
So-
listen. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
But do you guys think America is going to break up? Like, Rags,
I think it's gonna take time, but I think that when, not if, but when we go off the dollar standard, America, see a lot of countries like in Eastern Europe, right? Maybe they are poor, but they have very strong like morals and fundamentals, whereas America, not so much. We get more and more raunchy, more and more reckless over time. Like Americans don't have a sense of community, right? Like when you say like, oh, what are you? I'm Italian and Mexican. You just like identify as like where your family came from per se, not necessarily like American. And it's getting more and more like that over time. So what I think is that when we're already like the country is poor for the most part. So when we go off the dollar standard and we lose that, we are not just going to be like poor people. We're going to be like poor, violent people. Like Americans are violent by nature. So I think that it's going to turn into something like maybe Brazil, where you're just like scared to go outside and, it's just, you got like hooligans running the street and just robbing people and stuff like that. I think that's potential. I don't know if that happens in our lifetime. Sometimes like the fall of, like a world power can take long periods of time. And like, the thing is like America, Ray Dalio talks about like America, is on a downtrend. Like we've already peaked in global power, but that they don't give up power easily. And why do you think we have the #1 military in the world? Like you think they're gonna like if the world was like we're gonna come off the dollar, you think America's not gonna be like, yes, the fuck.
I mean, do you think you still have the strongest military in the world?
Yeah, nobody comes close.
100% have the strongest
It's not
military.
even close.
It's not even close.
No.
It's not
They
even close.
can't fight us. We're 75 years ahead.
We spend like 10 times
Yeah,
more.
but spending but there's incredible amounts of waste. Whereas
it takes the top 10 like naval the top 10 navies doesn't even come to the United States Navy. And on top of that,
I think Navy definitely, but in everything else.
Well, that's very crucial,
Navy is
right?
huge.
Yeah, the Navy is one of the, and then I'm a little biased, but because you have the ability to navigate anywhere in the globe. Like we have submarines with warheads at any time, just at the bottom of the ocean, ready to go.
Trading.
Bringing carriers, you essentially have a mobile air force at anywhere in the world at any time. Like there's a reason why we have such a massive Navy. Like it is to enforce essentially our kind of like Iron Fist. What was it? Ronald Reagan's like the big stick or the Great White Fleet, like just going around and showing our power. Like it's continued today. And it's just, and I do agree with Tendies. It's pretty much just to maintain the dollar standard. Like who's going to tell us the dollar is no longer the standard if we're just 10 times, 50 times the military force of anyone else in the world? It's going to be tough to dethrone that. All superpowers in the past have failed at some point. But right now with this whole military, who was it that said fear the military complex or whatever not too long ago?
A few of your presidents have actually.
Yeah.
Eisenhower, was it Eisenhower? And
yep.
People know that they
Kennedy,
can't.
obviously.
They can't go to war with America in terms of a battlefield. They're going to lose. After World War II, technologically speaking, we shot ahead by 50 or 75 years. In terms of, just because how much money we're spending, we have the best defense contractors in the world, the Lockheed Martins, the Raytheons, all those folks.
We also took all the scientists. We took all the Nazi scientists and everything, like we're like,
but nowadays, man, like for instance, in terms of like missiles, Russia has better technology. They have that missile that goes all over the shop, and it can go way further than anything American.
We're talking about hypersonic missile technology, and that the hypersonic, we're one of the things that we have done, and you can research this, is our missile defense system from the Pacific over, from Russia over. We've spent a tremendous amount of money in that to kind of thwart that, but also I just don't think people understand exactly how much more advanced we are than the rest of the world. You look at Ukraine, you look at the weaponry that they're having to use on those battlefronts right now. They're 1980s, early 1990s weaponry, tanks, all that sort of thing. That kind of lets you know like where we're at as opposed to us. We've got,
but America would have gone in if you could have just gone in and mopped up Ukraine. They would have already gone into Taiwan.
No, not for
done that.
What's your argument?
I mean, my argument is that people are calling America's bluff in military things now. And
such as what?
Pardon?
Such as what?
Well, like the whole Taiwan thing. Like America are posturing, but they know they actually can't militarily do anything because China have locked that down. And like when America fled Afghanistan, I think that was a bit of a wake-up call, because the whole thing just ended up being a complete shit show in the end. And it seems to me that other countries, like Turkey's playing with you now, other countries are starting to kind of know that they can stand up to America, and they haven't got the power to retaliate, partially because it's, run by, a very disorganized political party, and and inept and on their own ideological whatever. And I don't know. I see it as the tipping. Like, I think we're seeing the change of global power, and
weak leaders are more dangerous than strong leaders. And I think if you watch that Christopher Walken video where he's talking about there's a lion out there, and sometimes the hyenas, they come up and start nipping at his ankles and this and that, and one day the hyena gets up. He was sleeping. He gets up, and he stands up and he tears the shit out of everybody. And it's going to take a strong administration, a strong president to set that back straight. There are people in our administration right now, and this is going to tie it back too. You can't go to war head to head with us, but what you can do is ideological subversion, and you can rot us from the inside out. And I think that's what we're seeing from the highest political realms in our country. And it's going to take somebody to set that up, set that straight. Now, regardless whether or not Donald Trump was being serious when he said drain the swamp, there is a major precedent for that to need to happen. And if a politician isn't going to do it, it's up to us to at least get the word out and talk about it and take steps to take the country back. So Bloo Bum, I definitely agree that people are starting to nip at the heels of the United States. And I don't damn like it. I don't think anybody should like it. But it is happening, and I see it too. I understand where you're coming from there.
It's a couple things. I think strictly, I'll push back a little bit on the military force. Like, everyone else around the world is still way behind. I think that's borderline just factual. They're way behind the U.S. It's going to take them time to catch up. But like Rags was talking about, they are doing this rotting from the inside. I think one of the biggest issues is these lifetime politicians that just stay in here forever. Back to that drain the swamp. They've stayed in way too long. It's way too corrupt. No one should have a lifetime in politics. You need to get these people out of here. And it's funny because like we were having a conversation with this one guy who was running for some sort of political position, and Hexicans were having a conversation back and forth. But I remember at one point he was telling me like, oh, well, you should run for government if you wanted to change like this. And it's like, government has forgotten that they work for the people. Like it's not my job to go and become a government official to get it right, for them to realize that they serve us and not the other way around. And somewhere along the line, we've kind of lost that sight. And now it seems like we work for the government when it was supposed to be the other way around. We've kind of lost those reins over the years, and it's only getting worse.
My big hope, though, is that I think there's that massive feeling in America of like states' independence and people like you guys who are, constitutionalists. I think that's a massive movement in America that you can't blow over easily. And that's why I asked whether you think that it's going to split up or not. And, with like that thing with Texas, I'm wondering if you're going to start having secessions, because it's like at the moment, the intelligence services, like all the alphabet agencies, and this is all around the world, have just completely fucked everything up, because they're blackmailing people, they're coercing people, they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, that's where I think the real problem is. They've just got way too much power, and I don't really know how that gets unwound, apart from
crypto helps,
internet money, taking
over.
Man.
It's true.
You've got to educate the people. That's the key to all of this. We have to empower these people. Now the problem is, it's going to take a lot to wake folks up. And in fact, this is kind of ironic. There's a quote. It's from Vladimir Lenin, and he says, "There are decades when nothing happens, and then there are weeks when decades happen." And I think that it took COVID for this to kind of wake people up and see what's happening. They didn't let that opportunity go to waste to try to clamp down. I think they overplayed their cards. I think they overplayed their cards across the world. There is a true globalist. There is a true globalist presence in most of the Western Anglo countries that hate everything about America. In my opinion, they hate it because we have done so well. And they want to redistribute that to the rest of the world. They don't want somebody on top. And if you look everywhere where that idea is practiced, whether it's in your communities in Seattle or Portland or somewhere in California. It's all about, hey, 50 years ago, we looked at that guy that lived on the hill with a lot of money and said, I want to be like that guy. But now we look at that guy and say, let's tear all his shit down and let's take it for ourselves. That's how I think that's how the European Union and a lot of these bigger players, the WEF, they think about America, and they'll do anything they can do to tear it down, I believe.
Yeah.
Shitty.
All right, and that ends our political segment.
I'm glad we talked about it, though. It's important.
It does need to be talked about.
It's true. A lot of people don't even talk about it these days.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the first step.
Yep.
Well, that being said, let's get to a hard segue here. And
pump them brakes.
Well, one of the solutions is crypto. We can
and PulseChain, it could very well save Ethereum. So
this is your segue. You haven't seen that shit? No, I have not. Okay. PulseChain's gonna save Ethereum.
I got no idea, but evidently Richard didn't either. But
what?
I liked it.
Somebody said him that.
Ride.
He tweeted it. I'm like,
We're here to save Ethereum, boys.
It is a pretty epic narrative if all of these things that we've been talking about sort of all converge onto one big market, massive dump, and then PulseChain comes up and it's just like, that's what brings it all up. It's an epic narrative, isn't it?
Dougie Peach is at GRC behind the mustache, I guess. Yeah. Oh man. So
That's why.
yeah, I don't know. But anyway, PulseChain, just a couple topics on this. So red team versus blue team. So
Halo.
I would, just to me, because I'm not a technical person by any means, so perhaps, Motley, Wendy's, you guys can shed some more light on this. But to me, if you're having a red team versus blue team trying to break something, that to me means that you have something pretty darn tangible and maybe close to launch. Because if you're trying to break it, is it going to take months to break it? Because then we hear Richard say months.
Testnet has run great. Like there is some form of a viable product there. It's just like there was a few things that his main dev spotted. They've worked to fix on them, and now you just try to break it again. It's just a process of software. It's just try to break this in any way possible, so we don't have downtime. Right? We have so many more eyes on us than just about any other crypto project. Like if PulseChain goes down, you better buckle up, because we are going to hear it from everyone. Everyone's itching to wait for us to fail. So, Richard and his pride and everything, like he does not want to launch this product and have it go down for a split second, if humanly possible. So lots riding on this launch. You only get one launch, right?
If we had to wait 6 months to have it no hiccups, I would be fine with that. But I mean,
we'd bitch about it the whole way, but
yeah,
we'd be fine with it.
It does suck, but it is what it is.
I was reading about Solana, and they actually, the reason that they went down is because, well, one of the times anyway, is because of people attacking them. They've been down like 7 or 8 times. It's crazy. Hey?
20 times in about 24 months.
It's been a lot.
Is it that many, literally?
Yes, it's a lot.
I remember when EOS went down, and I was like, "Ha, fake blockchain."
EOS went down. They've only got 21 validators.
Mm-hmm. This was a long time ago, though.
Right.
Back when people actually cared about EOS.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Blue?
EOS only have 21 validators. So I was surprised it could go down.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened, honestly. I mean, it was years ago, but...
Is there a new validator count or is
That's
it
what he was
just?
saying.
That's what he said. I don't know if he.
I mean,
plans
there's
to
no
do that.
numbers floated or anything.
Well, he's said many times that that there's an excess amount of validators, and that like truly that's not really needed. So we'll see.
Yeah, but in his tweet, I thought he said that he wouldn't be opposed to more or something like that than the 33. I don't know. Maybe I misread it or something like that.
When you used the word entropy, it told me that maybe the amount of validators or potential validators that they were going to have was going to be too much of a suck on the system. So maybe that's why he's decreasing it or thinking about it. But I don't know. That's just speculation.
There's still so much stuff we don't know, hey? Like, we found out the inflation token's probably just going to be an inflation token with not too many bells and whistles on it. And there was another thing I was going to say. Oh, it slipped my mind.
I hope he changes his mind, but we'll see.
I mean,
We don't know anything about the voting. Like, we're going to have a DAO and we're going to vote for pools and which guns.
I'm sure it'll be easy to.
I
figure it
mean,
out.
I don't really care too much about the voting because I'm curious to see if he just steps in. Let's be real. He has a lot of points. So like I'm not too interested in the voting because I think ultimately if he doesn't like something, or let's say,
he'll veto it.
you know, the OA over on PulseChain essentially doesn't like something taking place, it's gonna get vetoed. So
It's a rigged election.
the illusion of voting. Doesn't really
In the
interest me.
DAOs, all the legislation right now against crypto pretty much talk about DAOs being securities. So it probably wouldn't be something we'd want to mess with anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'd be happy if it was just taken out of people's responsibility at all. Like, you guys just decide who gets what pools get what, you know.
Yeah.
I don't. What do we need? The people voting for that? So then everyone's going to vote for the thing they hold, and then
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
centralization. And
It's like I want my coin to have more rewards. Pump it up.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I logged in and was just checking out all the other like exchange inflationary tokens and stuff, and I'm like, in the middle of the bear, like some of those things have done okay. So I'm actually thinking that like the incentive token might actually do some numbers, even if it is just inflationary. Because
People
I
still
mean, you wouldn't,
speculate on it.
you wouldn't expect like sushi and everything else to still be up like multiple X's from its bottom, but they are, and they've been inflating for years now. So yeah, I mean, especially if he names it something funny or something, you know, you never know. Yeah, if you can use it in DeFi, like on fiat and stuff.
Probably wouldn't take him too much economic mass to pump it every now and then too. So.
Yep.
And let's see. I just did want to bring this up real quick, just because he's a YouTuber that some of you might know, and a trading YouTuber. But this guy, DIY Investing, was
Jonathan Jolly.
Yes, that's him. Watched plenty of him during the COVID days, but yeah, pretty much he came out with this video a few days ago, and he had I guess a bullish one on HEX as well. But overall, he's bullish on PulseChain, and I think it was 3 days ago. So he spoke highly of it, and he's got like some big XRP bags and other shit coins.
He's
and
like, I'm all in on PulseChain.
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna convert this to PulseChain when that goes live. So
Apparently, one of his friends is a
Hexagon.
hardcore hexagon. So
Yeah, makes sense.
good for him.
He
And
got
he
some
had-
of that information wrong, but that's all right.
yeah, he got some stuff wrong.
Well, most
But,
of them
like-
do, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not knee deep like we are. You got
Exactly.
enough ads open, sir? Jesus.
Yep.
Shoulder deep, most of us. But yeah.
And I mean, like, guys, like, it's a layer one. It's probably going to do well. Every crypto YouTuber is going to be pumping.
A lot of them are invested.
That's the
That's
reality of like probably what's going to happen. So
And they're on the right side of this time. So
yeah,
they-
exactly. So
they didn't
cool,
miss it.
you know? Yeah, they might have wrecked their
Exactly.
followers by like not recommending Hex early and all that, but they get to be on the right side of history for this one. So
BitBoy
They did-
Crypto is the #1 most followed crypto guy on YouTube.
largest channel.
That's massive. Now, and you look at each cycle, and I think he started his channel in 2017.
he did.
And
Yeah.
each cycle he's done at least like a 3 to 5x in follower count. It's going to be huge for us, folks. Really big.
Yep.
I think Ivan's in, right?
He's
Yeah.
supposedly invested. He hasn't really publicly talked about it, but yeah. I bet you it
And-
changes when it goes live.
He donated
Ran,
to the
maybe?
Sense, didn't he?
Yeah,
think-
Ivan did.
I can't
And
remember.
then,
but yeah. The Moon Carl has
Moon-
some.
It's funny though because they didn't really talk about the Pulse or PulseX sacrifices on their shows. Like there was no
No.
shit.
Well, they wanted in.
Yeah, but that's you don't do that.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't
I
do
know.
that.
So guys,
Guys, if you want to make money and you have alpha, you go in yourself and you don't tell people.
Tell
Especially
people
when you
after the
have
fact.
millions of followers. You're gonna tell all your millions of followers to get in
Yeah.
before you, or
You guys
know,
think
the same
these guys
person?
like all of a sudden got a conscience because they invested in the PulseChain?
that's my point. Yeah.
They didn't develop a conscience overnight. All right, they'll
Well,
start,
it would just be stupid.
they'll,
honestly.
they'll just start talking about it when it goes live.
Mhm.
You'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, Hexo is always working on
Working on.
It's like a never-ending labor of love. I think it's like just trolling him. He only has 500 days or so left to do that, I guess, and then Hexo's streams will come to an end. I think PulseChain will be out by the end of that. What else we have? Not much left on the list. Oh yeah, this thing.
That
Again.
was hilarious.
We
That was-
like to have fun on this show, so let's check out this little thing here regarding crypto.
Me llama el cocinero. Recita, ¿qué? Ve por la paellera. Venga, que las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Miren, bañador. En las chanclas. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa y aquí subió la marea. Tú. Había subido la marea y encontré una paella. Y la encontré porque estaba la paellera agarrada, metida entre las piedras de Chipiona, del faro. Y cuando entro en el restaurante me ve el cocinero con una paellera y adentro la vende paellera. ¡Ándale! ¡Mira dónde llega!
It's Wolverine. Wolverine does not find this funny.
Jesús, ¡ay, qué hacemos ahora! Con los dos sacos de arroz. ¡Ay, llama para Sevilla! ¡Llama a Sevilla que traigo paella!
That's me never. You guys are great. You use it with anything.
Tú y yo con el bañador con la paella. El cocinero. No vea, para Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la orden de regla, estamos llorando. Me cobró el tío la paella. Me cobró. Y ya no fui más. Me fui andando a coger los amarillos.
We're all screwed. dude.
Por la noche había bajado más el agua y por la mañana había subido.
Love it.
In a bear, we need to laugh a little bit. So
I didn't watch it with sound. It's a million times funnier with sound. A million.
Yeah, it's better than just scrolling by.
Yeah. So I think the first person I saw that tweeted that was Jesse. So thanks to him for sharing that.
I think Jawa. I think
Jawa.
made it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to highlight
Whoever wrote that, do more. You are brilliant.
I want to see one.
I want to see the next one. I want to see one in the Hitler bunker now. The PLSD guys in the Hitler bunker.
Oh man. Well, I think that's about it, gents, for the list tonight. Just a nice little quick 90-minute show. Get back in, the on the island. It's nice to have all the buttons and things, and actually, be able to pull things up on screen and feel better about it, and have audio.
Wait, you prefer the fake beach to the real beach?
No. But I'm just saying for
Just making
show
sure.
production services, yeah. This is real. No.
Oh yeah,
Mine.
what a breeze.
The sun stays at the
Yeah, the
same
sun's
spot.
definitely just like shining down on you.
It's razor
Yeah.
tough.
It doesn't move. It's never ending. It's beautiful. But yeah, Rough and Rowdy. You guys ever watch that Barstool event?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's on tonight, I think, right? So I'm gonna, check that out a little later. But if you've never seen it, it's just like take UFC and everything you know about it and throw it away. It's pretty much just amateur boxing. Like
It's UFC in West Virginia.
yes,
That's what it is.
It's absolutely amazing.
So like those Russian UFCs, those are pretty hilarious.
It's people who can't fight, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that.
it's absolutely glorious. Plus midgets. So
That's
yeah,
true.
who doesn't love?
I don't
a
think
good,
that's PC. I think they're little people, sir.
Who doesn't love a little people fight? So that's all I'm saying. All right, let's get out of here. Motley investor who looks like Wendy's for Tendies because y'all are switched. But Wendy's, where can we find you and y'all?
4Tendies. Yeah.
There you go.
4Tendies on Twitter. Motley Investor on Twitter.
Very good visual effects.
And you can hang out with us in the chat at t.me/Legion VC News. And
HEXmerch.com.
check out Hex merch for all your Pulse, Hex, all that stuff, all that good merch that we got out. Got new shirt come out.
Yeah. Shout out to Trevor's merch company, 85 Supply.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's rocking one of his shirts. Super nice quality. Good stuff.
I will say the Legion VC chat is kind of like a smaller like Hex chat when maybe the Hex Pro when it was
Don't do us dirty like that.
no when it was good.
Yeah.
No, when it was good before it blew up because
The early days.
Yeah.
and it's like I hope you guys like manage that
It's like
a bit.
the sweet spot right now.
It's
Yeah.
good. I really hope you guys
like if it starts devolving, like we'll close it, and know. So hey, get in while you can.
and don't post like
Increase the
memes
FOMO.
and gifs. Like just keep it to crypto. That's what I like about that one. So yeah, shout out to you guys for that. Rags to Riches, man. Where can we find you?
Yeah, ragsrichessquad.com. You can check us out there. Also, you can kind of check out myself and Matt, Crypto Heartbeat at Texan.cc to learn some more about what we're doing there. And I just want to pass along this message to everybody in the chat. This bear market really sucks. But this is one of the best opportunities that you could possibly have after a 10,000x run up with Hex. And do not lose sight of that. Don't listen to crypto Twitter at large because all those plebs, they don't know half or a quarter of the things that we do here. And just stick to your plan. Pick up a part-time job, DoorDash, Uber, whatever you got to do. Make that money, put it in because it will pay off. And it might be longer than you expect, but it will. So just don't lose sight of that and don't get sucked into the crazy stuff that happens on Twitter.
Yeah. Just try to see it as an opportunity. It's tough, but it is one.
Yep.
Yes. And I think we'll touch on this maybe more on next week's show, but I did want to say, like, don't let go of your precious, great future performing assets for shitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to play catch up with shitcoins. I see a good bit of that right now, and people are putting out whatever dog and whatnot, making copies of dogs now. I have, an original dog or whatever, but copies of copies. And then you go into these Telegram groups and it's just utterly sad, in my opinion, because there's promises. It's like penny stocks all over again, really. It totally feels like that. It's like, oh, well, we have roadmap in a week. And I'm like, are you? And people are hanging on the words of just these random admins and bots. It's totally sad. So just watch yourself.
It's a lot of bots and a lot of them. And I mean, I'll say it. I said it on the last stream. Like, unfortunately, I had a crypto buddy that killed himself recently, and it's like he was one that just degened all like the time, and he had a really good job. He made 6 figures. He was in crypto early enough, like he could have got ETH at $88 and all this stuff, but he got rugged so many times. In the last rug, he killed himself. So I mean, don't throw your future away, guys. Like I say it all the time, like you guys have golden tickets, buy some ETH. Like ETH ain't going anywhere. Hex, like Richard says all the time. I mean, he's telling his friends to buy. It's a good time to buy.
Richard takes care of his friends.
Richard takes care of his friends. Yeah,
that's a great point, Wendy's, because he said that right around 3.5 cents, and we're at 4 cents right now. So he told his friends to buy a double ago, and now we're back down almost to that double territory.
Yep.
So,
and he said it today. He was like, "Go now, like now, go buy."
Yeah. So it's like, well, can we go lower? Absolutely. Can we make a lower low? That's definitely possible, but you should be buying the whole time.
And we talked about this on Dixon's stream today anyways, right? Like, don't let greed get the best of you and just hope that you can get another 50% on your bag, right? Like, if you just miss it, like a lot of us were, me and Tendies were both looking at ETH and we just got greedy, right? We thought it was going lower. It might end up going lower. But like when it got sub 1,000 ETH and we're looking at like you could have bought like $700-800 ETH, we didn't do it. Like you just get greedy, right? And Tendies came up with a good rule today. That was the first time I heard that. That was good. Get a number in your head where you think it's going to go or where you would like to buy it, and then almost put 50% on top of that. And you should be starting to DCA in that range. And it's usually pretty good to where a bottom might be. And that way you don't let greed overcome you and you miss your entry altogether.
Because you pretty much, and it works the opposite way too, right? Like look at the top, right? Everybody thought Bitcoin was going to 100,000, 110, and take 50% off, and that's where we went, right? Yep. So it works in kind of like in both directions. If you're really in tune with the market and you wherever you think, it's like it's hopium in both directions, right? So if you think Hex is going to go to $10, maybe it goes to $5. This next cycle, right? So it's one of those things. So, and it's DCA. If you ever make full moves, all in or all out, you're going to get wrecked because you're going to be way too emotional. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just the time horizon. If you really just readjust, we're really looking at potentially only a year to 2 years out tops, right? Like you're going to see insane gains from this position today, regardless if you get a lower entry or even a slightly higher entry. So it's just, this is the time, like we talked about earlier, to grind, get some hobbies, anything to take your mind off of it, earn extra pay, and start DCAing now.
Just don't even look at it. Just put the money in and like turn the charts off and live your life. And, in a couple of years, you'll be doing really good. Actually, Trevor said that he met a lady who bought ETH and Bitcoin, in I think 2013, 2014, sometime around then. She just never even paid attention to it, and like that's how you want to be, because like that's the ultimate diamond hands, right? And she's like, oh, have they done well? Like it's like,
hey, you're very rich.
Hell? Yeah. You got money. So yeah, just think, long term and stuff like that.
Vanessa is a perfect example. OG that's been here.
And he's been grinding, man.
And not only does he grind, like he probably grinds harder than anyone else. Like he picks up more. I don't even know what it is in the trucker world, but like that dude is constantly going around the U.S. nonstop.
Like smoking.
He's in Alaska Sunday and then New Orleans on
exactly.
Monday.
Lives in his truck. Good luck getting his hex. You're gonna meet the Second Amendment. Like the dude does not stop hustling, and he's been here since day one.
Yeah, so. Shout out to the finesse. Yeah, so I mean, just think they're going to turn the money printers on again eventually. Just lock it up, turn your Hex money printer on in the meantime.
Yep. And what you said there, I think the key, Wendy's, is the DCA, because people think, oh my gosh, 50%, like that's a wide range, but the key is DCA. Like you start your DCA in that range, like just for a trade or something like that. If like a stock or crypto is close to a technical level, I will do almost the same thing and just be like, okay, well, this is the price I'd really like to buy it at, but I never set like a limit there. I always set it above, but I'm not DCAing. I'm trying to get, the price is already so close to where it is that, I just, go a little bit above there. But in terms of overall DCA, that's a perfect strategy for a prolonged bear market, because you kind of just ease yourself in and you're buying pretty much as it dips. So hopefully, maybe it gets that sweet spot to where it just gets down all the way down to where you want it, and then you fill your entire bag, and then you're on the way back up.
Very rarely the case.
Right. But if it doesn't get to that level and you weren't DCAing at that 50% range, then you're just like, oh man.
Then you're chasing, and then you're FOMO buying green candles and tops.
Exactly.
You wreck yourself.
Exactly. Bloo Bum, last on the list, my friend. Where in the world are you, and where can we find you in the Twitterverse and YouTube land and all that?
Yeah, I'm hanging out in Mexico. If you want to come visit me, I'll be in Vegas. I think I'll be at the Hedron store. So I think we have our store next to the Hex merch.
Nice.
You guys?
We won't be there, but say hi to our compatriots.
Yeah.
Motley's going to be selling T-shirts.
Someone will be selling that. Nikki's on it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Vegas, and yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Bloo Bum is the man, or just search Bloo Bum, and on Telegram at Bloo Bum. And I'm pretty much I'm mod in the Hedron and Icosa chats, Icosa Hedronologists, and so you can find me there in those chats. And I'd start getting very if you've not got anything to do right now, and go and understand Hedron and Icosa, because it's a fascinating system where you've got options at many different levels in how to play it. And there are like nearly 4,000 HSIs that are going to be coming up for auction in 80 odd days. I'm going to guess that the price is going to run up towards that. And so maybe if you are going to DCA, I mean, HEX is obviously the pristine asset. But maybe like think about getting a little bit of Hedron in these next couple of months. Very low, small plays, but I think that it could be worth your while, is my hot tip. Because people are going to want Hedron for those auctions. And if you have a whole lot of Hedron, like if you're a dolphin or a shark or even a squid or a turtle,
You're earning plenty every day, right?
yeah, you can mint your Hedron, and there are going to be like thousands of these HEX stakes up for sale. I'm thinking that there's a very good likelihood that you're going to be able to find a deal, because they're going to be sold just for the Hedron that you could have borrowed from them, which is just nothing compared to what their actual value is. And obviously people will bid on them, but I wouldn't be surprised with so many up for sale that maybe you can get something for 50% off. You know, maybe you can get something at a third of the cost. Maybe it'll cost you two. I don't know. Like, it's a ton of HEX stakes coming up for auction. So that to me is super exciting. And yeah, I just want to let people know about that. And yeah.
There you go. HEX 720 could be an amazing opportunity to accumulate T-shares. Don't sleep on Hedron. So there you go. And we might have a couple more guests. We might have graphics on next week. I don't know. I have to ask Vince because he was lining that up. So we'll see about that. And maybe Sloth as well. But always good discussions with those guys. And again, I shouted them out earlier. Them, DFed, graphics, DFed, and Sloth got my cram session in last weekend before the Icosa launch. So shout out to you guys again for some great content, actually. So appreciate that. All right, that'll do us for this week. HEX price, current HEX price is under 4 cents. So you're getting closer to pretty much where Richard Hart recommended to his friends it might be a good idea. So maybe check that out.
If Bitcoin breaks 20K, look out below.
There you go. And we're what, 20?
It's like under 21,000.
Yeah,
2996.
Yep.
New candle just formed.
There you go. Yep, after 8 o'clock. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat. Valley Brand, see you, and everybody else. Thanks so much. Wendy's for Tendies. Big K was here for just a second. Crypto Vince, Motley Investor, Rags2Riches, Bloo Bum. Good to see you guys again, and we'll see you next week.